This episode of Model Behavior is brought to you by our Patreon sponsor, BJ. Thanks for the support, BJ. Now you're not gonna get whacked.
Hello there, gang, and welcome to another episode of Displaying Model Behavior, the Earth's mightiest action figure video podcast. So take off your pants, crack a beer, and let's talk toys. Let's talk about the nerdy news that you need to know about. It's the only news that matters. It's good news, and we have a huge amount of really random stuff to talk about. So let's talk about it. First up, Four Horsemen Studios have revealed their Cosmic Legions Wave 2, and there's some cool looking stuff here. I'm really torn about it because I've gone all in on Wave 1, but now, do I need more Cosmic Legions? Maybe. They look pretty cool. They seem to be getting very, very creative. There's some pretty badass stuff here. The names are totally unpronounceable for me, which means for everyone. Therefore, we're not going to do that, but I am going to show you the pretty pictures. First of all, we have wicked-looking reptile bounty hunter dude with two different heads. He's got the screeching, snarling-looking one, then more of a kind of a cool, poised sort of look. He looks really awesome. I'm going to say this about all of them. They all look really awesome, which makes it really difficult when I think, it's $200 for the whole lot. But then also, in the UK, got to pay shipping, imports, this and that. It becomes a lot, and then you realize, I gotta be a little bit more thrifty. But Snake, reptile guy, he does look very, very cool. Then, they're giving a lot of people what they've been asking for, which is classic, grey, skinny, big-eyed alien. This dude is your absolute X-Files go-to invasion type alien, and I really do like that. A lot of people were saying that's what they want to see, and they've given it to us, so that looks really cool. I don't know if it's something that sort of gets me too excited. I like my monsters and my colourful characters, but this dude's probably going to be very, very popular. Then they really get quite creative. We're pushing the boat out with this translucent orange scorpion lady. This is very cool. I think a lot of people are thinking, I don't know about this. It's kind of an experiment. And I get that. Will the translucent orange body kind of work? She's got a weird roast chicken head with scorpion tail coming out of the back. It's odd, but I think it could be kind of cool. So I'm pretty excited for this one. Then I think there's the highlight of the wave for me. Giant badass monster cyborg. That's just all the cool things together. With a big mace hand, which I think you can swap out for all sorts of different things. He just looks super. He looks like a cyber demon from Doom. That's what he looks like. I was trying to think, where have I seen this dude before? He looks like a cyber demon. That's super awesome. If I was going to get one, it would probably be this dude. And then finally, we've got, I forget the name, I forget all of their names, but it's more the sort of science officer, trooper, military looking type guy with all the different heads you can swap out. Full-on army builder is what I'm saying. Full-on army builder for this guy. But again, looks pretty cool. All you guys out there with big old incomes and massive disposable money, fill your boots. You could make an incredible army building, crazy cosmic display with these guys. They look awesome. So these are going to be, they are up for pre-order now, and they're going to stay up for pre-order until May 1st. So basically, I have a month to agonize over what I'm going to do before probably caving in and getting them. Who knows? There's also a weapons pack in there too. So, gosh, you can just customize to your heart's content. Dang it, Cosmic Legions. You kind of got me by the short and curlies right now, and you know it too. Speaking of big expensive things, Neca have revealed their TMNT Party Wagon, and it is a big expensive thing, but not the most expensive version out there. We live in a world where there are 3 TMNT Party Wagons in 1/12 scale. What a time to be alive. First of all, there was the Super 7 one, then we had a third-party one that I was talking about on here, and now Neca are like, hey, this looks like a fun party. Mind if anybody joins? So they've released images, just prototype images of their party wagon, and looks pretty good to me. Some people are saying, some of this scale isn't quite right. Maybe they've had to change things to accommodate batteries, because it's got light-up features too. And also it's going to retail for $250, give or take, which sounds like a lot of money, because it is a lot of money. But compared to the other ones going around, it's pretty competitive, actually. So again, I stepped away from animated turtles, thank goodness, because my wallet went, whew. but I think this looks like a really good representation. Is it a perfect one-for-one likeness of the cartoon? Not quite there yet, but I think I'd be able to look sideways and go, nope, that looks good to me. So obviously, as time goes on, we're going to see the proper pictures and see what it really looks like coming together. But I think if you're a hardcore animated NECA collector, then this should really fill your boots. A lot of people are debating like, oh, this one's better for this reason, that one's better for that one. Honestly, it's kind of cool that you can pretty much take your pick. I just feel bad for anyone who maybe threw down some money and pre-ordered one, and now NECA have released this and they're like, oh man, that one looks better. It's all about aesthetics, but either way, I hope you get whichever van is your favorite. Going back to Marvel Legends and their Moon Knight campaign of global dominance, they haven't officially revealed, but we have seen pictures of their Mr. Knight Moon Knight figure. Now, I don't know a lot of Moon Knight lore, so I know this is sort of the visual representation of another one of his personalities, but I'm looking forward to finding out what that actually involves as the MCU series tells it to us, because I'm just not that familiar. But I've seen comic book art of this style, and this costume does look really cool, and it looks like they've captured it to perfection with the new Moon Knight mask, with the cool white suit. Again, it's just a little render, just a little mock-up picture. We can't really see very much, but if you're enjoying Moon Knight, if you've got your MCU collection, this looks like another great addition. And it's not just some random minor change variant. This is a whole different Moon Knight costume. So again, I'm not an MCU guy, but that MCU Moon Knight and the Mr. Knight, those two together would make a heck of a bookend kind of display. You gotta say I'm tempted because they look really good. Well done, Marvel Legends. More like that, please. Bandai Collectibles had a booth at WonderCon 2022, and in case you didn't know, like I didn't till I read the article, Bandai Collectibles are a distributor of Storm Collectibles, which means we got some more Mortal Kombat reveals? Hints, more accurately, would be the case. The big one for me personally, we saw a photo. We saw an actual picture of a real Liu Kang, 1/6 scale, give or take, because they're kind of 7-inch, 1/6 scale Mortal Kombat figure, and I think he looks great. Full on, Mortal Kombat 3 kind of Liu Kang, looking like a big old roidy Magoo, but I don't mind that because the face looks decent. It's the style and design of Liu Kang that I really enjoy. So if this can come out at some point in the next 5 years, I would be pleased with that. Now, also, this is an interesting one. They showed a mock-up prototype of Kano, and this is Mortal Kombat 3 Kano, completely bald head and the black and red gear. And honestly, I was happy to see Kano. I don't think, it's just the black and white prototype, or just the grey prototype. It's hard to say, but I don't think it looks good. He looks really wide and got like a peanut head. And you know what? I'm not the only person who doesn't think it looks too good. Probably, because this is an interesting story. The actor who played Kano, whose name escapes me right now, but he has actually reached out to Storm Collectibles on Twitter and said, hey guys, I see that you're doing a Kano action figure. This dude played Kano in Mortal Kombat 1 and 3. And he's like, I want to help you. Contact me. I want this to be the most awesome Kano figure available, possible. So I imagine he's going to volunteer for probably face scans and head sculpts and all that kind of thing. Because Lord knows, Mortal Kombat Storm Collectibles could do with some help on some of those face sculpts. Sub-Zero, Kung Lao, I'm looking at you guys. I don't know if you're looking at me, I can't tell with your weird eyes. But if they could actually collaborate with the Kano actor, I think that would be awesome. I love it when people who are involved in a franchise that you love clearly still have love for that franchise as well. So I really hope that Storm can collaborate with this actor and make a badass Kano figure. That would be really cool. But that's not all. They also showed pictures of Paul from Tekken. Not a big Tekken dude, but I can appreciate a nice looking picture of Paul. He seems kind of cool. So for Tekken people, that might be one to look forward to. And also, they showed their images of their 1/6 scale Scorpion and Sub-Zero. I was very happy when I saw that, those are the 1/6 ones. Don't need to replace my Scorpion and Sub-Zero. That's good. They look kind of cool if 1/6 is your jam. And also, Bandai revealed Sentinels, because one is a distributor of the other, I think. Sentinels, Penny Parker, and SPDR from their Spider-Verse wave. And it wasn't really like a reveal, we've kind of seen it, but they just showed it off. And if you're interested in building a Spider-Verse display, this would almost tempt me to want to do that, because I think it looks so good. It looks so cute. I really, really dig that. The SPDR with the changeable faces, little robot thing, I think that's really quirky and fun. And then you've got like super anime Penny Parker. I love the look of that. So there's some really cool stuff coming out under the Bandai umbrella. I'm learning more stuff about action figure distribution now. It's like, oh, Bandai, thanks very much. You're covering some cool creators there. It's interesting. Neca are giving us aliens from the Fireteam Elite game, and this is kind of cool. I love just seeing more different, weird and wonderful aliens, and they've got a couple to choose from here. First of all, they're giving us the Elite Runner alien. I haven't played Aliens Fireteam because it's a team shooter, as the name implies, and I can never coordinate myself with people online and find times that are convenient to do these kind of games, which is a shame, because I've heard really good things about it. Apparently they've just taken all the different elements and lore from the different alien games and novels and universes and just smooshed it all into this really cool looking game, so maybe one day. So yes, first of all, you've got this Elite Runner, and then you've also got the Prowler. So he looks kind of fun as well, as so many of these I appreciate. They're essentially repaints with maybe just a tiny bit of extra tooling, but it's just fun for me to look at them, especially because I know that I'm not going to buy them, so I just enjoy seeing the different cool designs. It's a lot like the Predators as well. I'm happy to just look at the awesome Predator designs and go, that's really cool. But if you do want to pick these guys up, they're going to be available for $40 June this year. So they're going to be coming out very, very soon. And yeah, $40, that seems to just be the going rate for NECA figures now. And that is kind of tough. And I got to say, like, that's kind of priced me out for NECA, I feel. And I'm not saying they're not worth it or they are worth it. It just feels like for what they're offering, like if it was 30, I'd be like, yeah, I can justify that. But once it hits 40, I'm like, nah, I'm out. But if you're in, then you can get hold of them. Ramen Toys. This company seems to be making a few little waves here and there. I keep hearing Ramen Toys coming up, and you probably will too, because they have just dropped a hint that their next project is going to be Bravestar. Strength of a bear, speed of a puma. Yep, not a puma, a puma. I'd much prefer that pronunciation. It's just like, feels good. Strength of a bear, speed of a puma. Focus, Dave. So we don't know anything about this besides just a little picture, where it's even just like drawing, so there's no idea what this might look like, but it's just fun to know that someone is working on and recreating some of our childhood 80s favorites. So Ramen Toys, I'm going to watch this space and see what they come up with. Speaking of reinvigorating 80s franchises, Netflix are teaming with Nacelle. Now, these two sort of combining forces might seem a bit unusual, but it's the Netflix people who made The Toys That Made Us. Okay, that was a really good show. And then Nacelle made RoboForce, which I covered recently. RoboForce being this old 80s robot property that they've zhuzhed up into badass looking modern action figures. This company is now going to be making Sectors. Remember Sectors? Probably a lot of you don't. They were super fun though. It was set in a very He-Man type alternate world, different planet, but the gimmick was you had the action figures and then you had these hand puppets that had like bugs on them that they would ride, and your fingers made the legs of the creature. It was cool. It was really, really cool. I had it. I had the main hero as a kid. I thought it was wicked. Remember playing with that in the bath. Good times. Can never go back. Or maybe I can. Maybe I should just start playing with my action figures in the bath more. Yeah, I'll get onto that. My Mezcos will love it. So, Sectors, partnering up Nacelle and Netflix, and it's going to be happening at some point soon. Not much more information, but when I get it, I'm going to let you know. Just to wet your whistle a little bit more, Creative Beast Studios have shown more images of their Cyberverse figures. I spoke about these the other day. Dinosaurs with cybernetic futuristic battle armor and people who ride them. It's Dino Riders, basically, and I got no problem with that. I'm not going to sit here and go like, you're just ripping off Dino Riders. I'm like, yay, you're ripping off Dino Riders. Finally, someone else is doing this. What an amazing concept. So we're just getting more concept art coming through, more ideas of what they're going to look like. I think they're 1/18th scale, which like, yeah, it's not 1/12th, but then again, 1/12th dinosaurs would be pretty huge. So actually 1/18th is fine. So I'm just watching this very closely. No sort of big actual product reveals, but just a better idea of what they're going to look like. And this is what I'm really going to be quite excited about when I get to see properly. I think this could be a little sleeper hit this year. Coomodels. Ever heard of them? No, me either, but I'm suddenly seeing lots and lots of pictures from them. I think this is a Chinese manufacturer. I'm really not too sure though, but I'm seeing all these release images of, they look very mezco, like cloth goods and lots of accessories. I love these independent creators. It's just fascinating to see what they do. One of which is this little scarecrow guy. And I guess because they seem to operate outside the jurisdiction of like the rest of the world, they can just do all these sort of carbon copies of existing properties. Because this scarecrow guy is pretty much, what's his name? The little sack boy type character from Trick or Treat, but just done in sort of blue scale scarecrow looking gear. And I think he looks cool. I love creepy, kooky Halloween type stuff. That kind of Halloween Town, sort of Nightmare Before Christmas, all that kind of vibe. I dig that. And this little creepy little childlike scarecrow guy, I think he looks super, super cool. So I'm just going to do a bit more research into this and find out more about it. But I just saw this as obviously new preview images of what they're about to be releasing. And I thought I just wanted to cover it because he's got all the different mezco style cloth goods and all this stuff that just adds more layers to the design. I love the look of that. And also, I then saw when I was doing some more research, they've got this pumpkin dude as well, and he looks wicked. I love pumpkins, love that kind of visual style of thing, so that looks super cool too. I'm really going to take a close look at this because I'm liking the less is more philosophy with my action figures. I don't want 10,000 billion action figures, he says, while sat in front of 10,000 billion action figures. I'd rather just have like a few really cool pieces and maybe even not keep things forever. Buy them, enjoy them for a year, swap them out, trade them. That might be my way going forwards. Freaking Mandalorian style. This is the way. Might be the way that works for me. With a limited budget and limited space, can't keep things forever. Anyway, I'm going to do some more research into Coomodels because they look kind of cool. Well, it must be 2005 because we're sat here talking about a Crow reboot. Yep, it's now probably happening, maybe more than it was before. Jeez Louise, I think it is definitely happening now with Bill Skarsgård in the role. The actor whose name I couldn't remember the other day, the dude who played It in the recent It movies, he is going to be playing Eric Draven, or the equivalent character, in a new Crow reboot. And I think that kind of works. The dude's kind of a ethereal, sort of beautiful kind of human being. I think he would look very appropriate in the Crow makeup. The Hollywood Reporter has been saying some things, so I'm going to quote directly from the source. You know, it's funny, I said I was about to quote from the Hollywood Reporter, but actually I just read the article and there's nothing in there I haven't already told you. So, look out for more Crow news soon. I always keep my ear to the ground for video game recommendations, and recently just come out is the Lego Skywalker Saga Star Wars game. I probably said some of those things in the wrong order, but it is a Lego Star Wars game, of which we have many already, but this one tells the full Skywalker saga from episode 1 to episode 9, and apparently it's a pretty darn fun game. I've been reading a few articles on Kotaku and IGN, and it seems to be averaging around about an 8 out of 10, and people are saying if you like Lego games, then this is kind of more of the same, with a few little tweaks to show that they have actually put some more effort into trying to cultivate and create something new. The thing that I love for Lego, that most people do, that's kind of the selling point for their sort of style, is the humor. Apparently the humor is still there, it's funny, it's quirky, it's silly, and I kind of dig that, especially Star Wars now, with the huge, bloated, crazy thing that it is, there's a lot of space for humor. And I think that they can keep that going all throughout the 9 different episodes of this story that they're telling. It looks like a lot of fun. I think this could be a fun Sunday afternoon. Don't think too hard. Just sit back and enjoy some nostalgic Star Wars nonsense type game. This looks like a lot of fun. 8 out of 10 from other people. Question mark out of 10 for me, because I haven't played it. Over in movie news, Morbius has been getting slammed by critics, just saying that it's kind of dreary and grey and over serious, but not really fun, and it's getting some bad press. I haven't seen it yet, but I'm seeing it tomorrow. All right, so I sort of decided that I didn't want to see it, and then I was like, well, I'm going to go to the cinema and see Sonic 2. I might as well do a double bill, so I'm going to eat my Morbius vegetables and then have my Sonic 2 dessert. And that could work out quite well. But the reason I wanted to talk about Morbius is because I was really impressed with a quote from the director. Because so many times when a movie comes out and people say that it's not very good, the directors or people behind it will rally against them and be like, yeah, you just haven't seen it, or you're just making your own opinions without, appreciating, like, we work really hard and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, yeah, but dude, if you made a bad movie, you made a bad movie. But the director of Morbius, I give a lot of credit for. This is a quote from an article that I'll source at some point below because I can't remember where I saw it. Espinosa said, "It's a strange thing to make something that is so public. Look, I have a lot of self-hatred, so I have a lot of criticism of my own work. I'm always trying to focus on being better, but I'm proud of what I do. There are parts of all my movies that I am really proud of." Dude, can of Coke and this week's model behavior displayer goes to you, Mr. Espinosa, for taking criticism, getting your lumps and being, look, I can appreciate that. I work really hard to always try and be better. Thanks for watching. I'm gonna do my best. I'm proud of different parts of this, and I'm gonna keep on working hard to do the best thing possible. That's how I paraphrased that awfully. But I think that's the best way to go. That's how I try and respond to criticism. Not as if anyone criticizes me. People criticize me a lot. But it's like, yeah, thanks very much for your input. I'm striving to do better. I hope you get the chance to see me improve. And that's really cool. So I'm going to actually go to Morbius now with a more open mind, because I'm like, I like this director, so I want to give him a chance. Over in pro wrestling news, just a fun, interesting little tidbit. I'm not going to talk about WrestleMania because that could be a whole different podcast all of its own. But Randy Orton was on the Pat McAfee show, and he just said a really interesting little quote that was like a nice bit of shade thrown, I guess. Pat McAfee was asking him about the new talent coming in from NXT and the developmental guys coming up. And again, to paraphrase, Orton says, "Well, one thing they clearly don't teach them is how to take care of your opponent, because I've been in the ring with these guys and they're dangerous to work with." Essentially is what he said. And it's like, wow, I gotta love Randy Orton. He don't care about nothing. He's gonna say whatever he wants. It's like shots fired across the bow. Randy Orton saying that guys from NXT don't know how to work. So I love Randy Orton in that. He's bulletproof. He can say whatever he wants. And he's calling out the WWE training program. So who knows? Maybe this might ruffle some feathers and they might start focusing on teaching people to protect their opponents a bit more. I mean, there'd be nothing wrong with that. Also, a fun little tidbit from WrestleMania that kind of ties into action figures and collecting. Logan Paul came out for his match at WrestleMania. It was a tag team match, wearing the world's Guinness Book record most expensive Pokemon card around his neck, which I just thought was a fun, ridiculous piece of bling. It's some like one-of-one Pikachu sketch card for about $5 million that he spent on it. And hey, if you got money to spend on whatever you want, why the heck not? Go for it. Make yourself happy. So I thought that was kind of cool. Of all the weird random bling to have, $5 million Pokemon card, why not? If I debuted at WrestleMania, I'd probably come out with a silver shirt Luke Cage just around my chest, like, see that? Silver shirt Luke Cage. And even Guinness Book of World Records would be like, I have no idea what that is. I'm like, action figure collectors, no, pal. I got Crimson Dawn Psylocke in the back as well. So yeah, I thought that was kind of fun. And a quirky little piece of whimsy is that Spirited Away, one of the most beautiful animated movies to come out of Japan in the last 20, 30, 40, ever years. Spirited Away is just beautiful Miyazaki brilliance. Has its own theatre production stage play that's touring Japan at the moment. Wish I was there to see it. But maybe it'll come over to the UK or the US. Who knows? But the pictures with all of the actors done up just like the characters and the animatronics, the sets, the puppetry. Oh, it looks so gorgeous. I just wanted to point it out because it's lovely to share nice things. Miyazaki Spirited Away on stage looks so terrific. Like even some of the puppets look kind of creepy in a really cool kind of way. They really seem to have captured the feeling of that wonderful, enchanting, weird fairy tale kind of movie. So now, future goal. Get back over to Japan before they finish its run, which might be difficult because I think it probably is going to be quite a limited run. But who knows? Hopefully it won't go into mothballs and they can tour it around the world, because that is something I think a lot of people would love to see. And finally, just a fun bit of random silly news, we had the teaser trailer for the second episode of Moon Knight. And it was only like 30 seconds, but I thought what was really fun was that now, officially, I think, Marvel Legends are canon in the MCU. Help me out here, because there is a scene with him reaching for a Moon Knight action figure. Maybe it's all in his brain, in his mind, we don't know. But I love that. I couldn't tell, like, is that our Walgreens 616 Moon Knight action figure? It certainly looks like it. And I just kind of love that. I was like, oh shoot, it's a Marvel Legend in the MCU. So you eagle-eyed super boffins, help me out. Can you tell, was that an actual Marvel Legend, or was that just a generic Moon Knight toy that someone in the prop department made? Comment below, let me know. I'd like to find out. I love the idea that all these things are canon now. That's brilliant. And folks, that does it for Good News for today. I told you it was going to be a weird, wonderful, eclectic bunch of random news stories, and I think I delivered. Hopefully we can get some more like Marvel Legends news and exciting reveals coming out soon, because yeah, we had Moon Knight. He looks super cool, but besides that, oh actually, now just talking, I've realized that there is the Mr. Knight figure that's sort of been revealed as well. So I would have spoken about that because I'm going to go and edit that back in, but right now, at this moment, I hadn't done it. But there you go. So, besides the Mr. Knight figure that I was definitely talking about, I want some more Marvel Legends revealed. Alright, let's make that happen. So guys, thanks very much for watching, and until next time, keep displaying model behavior.
Displaying model behavior is made possible by all these Patreon supporters over there. I mean, don't get me wrong, he would do it anyway, but it wouldn't be as good because he'd have to spend more hours working at the bar, and that don't pay too good. So a bit of Patreon support, yeah, that helps out the channel a lot. So thanks very much for all you guys over there. And if you want to be one of the Patreon supporters, then, well, you know what you can do. You can go over to patreon.com/displaying model behavior. All right, go do that, and you can sign up, and then you can be responsible for all these stupid programs he puts on. I mean, they are kind of stupid, but you know, he's a good-natured guy. You can't hold it against him. You know, if he ain't doing this, what is he gonna be doing, huh? We don't want him out in society. Nah. That's somebody else's problem. All right, see ya. That's me walking.
Cup of coffee.